Okay, this is take 2 on my good old September the 18th video. My first one kind of messed up. We'll see how this goes. But we are starting with Math Workshop, and I asked them to do 4 and 5. This is number 4. Listen, first thing we just got done talking about, line up the decimals. Second thing, I would add in the top zeros. That wakes your brain up that we need to do what? Borrow. Right? Okay. Borrow, make it a 10, make it a 9, 10 minus 2, 8 minus 7, 6 minus 6. What happens? Borrow, 12 minus 6, and 2.
I did 7. I didn't write the question.
I didn't copy it right. Okay. Listen, part of this is just look at your answer. If you have 32 and you take away 6, you know, that answer should be somewhere between 25, 27, somewhere in there. See if your answers make sense. Okay, number 5. Now, on this one, I lined them up. I did 49.5, meaning I lined up the digits. I'm sorry, the numbers. And 0.32. Now, if you added a 0, it is fine. You're just going to have an extra 0 on the end. So my math would look like this. Okay, I would move it over 3 times because I have 3 numbers up here with 3 numbers behind my decimals. So I would bounce it to the left 3 times. Listen, if you have a spare 0 on the end, it is fine as long as that decimal is between the 5 and the 8. Okay, yes?
Would you, like with the 32, would you put the 3 in front of the 5 and then put a 0 behind the 5?
Okay, so, and this has come up in like every class. Let me show you. And I think some of you are erasing and you shouldn't be, to be honest. Like, look real quick. If I do it this way, and I think what you mean is, and tell me if I'm right, that? Okay, so look, I want you to see, guys, this is still correct. Watch. 2 times 0 is 0, 2 times 5 is 10, 18 plus 1 is 19, I get 9, put a placeholder, 3 times 0 is 0, 15, 27, 28, 13, 14. What some of you are just messing up on is moving the decimal over. If you do this, you have to count the 0 as one of the numbers to bring it over. So you need to bring it over 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But notice, that decimal is in the same spot as that decimal. All it is this person has an extra 0, which is correct. I would take either one. Yes? Oh, okay. Okay, that'll do it. That'll do it. I don't want any kid to go home thinking that you've got it wrong when you've got it right. That's the hard part. Yes.
So you're saying that would it be more work to do it the right side?
Yes. What happens is if you line up decimals, you usually end up working with a lot more zeros. So we try to do it this on the left side, but in the end it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Yes.
You bounced number 5, the left one, 3 times.
Ah, I like it. Look, that's because there's 1, 2, 3 behind these 2 decimals. But this one has 1, 2, 3, 4 behind the decimals. So, and all it is that 0 right there that has to be added in if you're going to do it this way makes you bounce it more times. And it just matters how you did it.
What you're saying is how many numbers are in the back is always how many times the decimal will go.
Yes, totally. So like right here, if I count up here 1, 2, 3, 4, there should be 4 numbers behind the decimal. If I count 3 here, there should be 3 numbers behind the decimal. Every time. Does that help a little bit? Okay. as we keep practicing this, like just keep trying them. That's all we can do to see if we can get them right. Okay, get out last night's homework, and I'm going to do my best to kind of talk you through them. The ones that I left you with. Let me find one. Yes, converting fractions to decimals and decimals to fractions. Woo! Yes. Which problem is it that you had a question about? That's fine. I can't even find a copy of it. 1 second. Well, I don't want to just show you answers. I want to work them out with you guys. Or I'm trying. Well, let me just find you their copy. Okay, so I think in this class I did 1 through 3. So I'm going to start by just showing 1 through 3 in case you're watching the video and you're wondering. Okay, so these were the first 3. I did these with the kids yesterday. We talked about taking 35, putting it over 100 and simplifying. 9 over the 10. 225 over the 1,000 and simplify it. Okay, here we go. Let's do number 4 and 5. Okay, so give me just a second. When we do that one, I'll go over it. It's okay. Yes. Tissue? Yeah. Or look under there. That's fine. Yeah, either one. So, we need to start by taking our ending digits, 242. We need to put them over what number? 1,000. Now, does 242 over 1,000 simplify?
Yes, it does.
By what? 2's. Okay. So my new fraction is 121 over 500. Now, that is only the back end of that decimal. I'm going to kind of put it all together now. I need a big 8 in the front. 121 over 500. And it doesn't simplify anymore. Like I kind of went through it earlier and made sure. Yes?
When I did it, I had already put the 8 down. Does that really matter?
No, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So everybody get on that one. Okay.
How can you tell when you're about to put the whole number?
You can put it here, like you can go ahead and put it here. You just don't want to simplify it.
So if it's by itself.
If it's in front of the decimal.
So that's.
Yep. You just want to like not mess with it till the end, or I don't.
I got this. I got 100.
And I would think your mind, like all it is if you divide the top by 2 to get 121. You got to divide the bottom by 2. And 2 into 10 is 5. I think you probably just flopped your thinking, if that makes any sense. Like instead of dividing by 2, it sounds like you divided by 5. That's all. Does that make sense, kind of? Okay. This one, we should all be able to do, because 4 is in what column?
The tenths.
Tenths. That's literally what it means, guys. It means 4 tenths. And if I simplify it is 2 fifths. What goes into 4 and 10? 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. That is simplified. Since there was no whole number, just write 2 fifths. Here we go. Look. Don't put 0 in 2 fifths. Just put 2 fifths. Okay. Number 6 is kind of weird. It is 0.98 on the end with the decimal. That means 98 over 100. Listen, the columns are tenths, hundredths. That, and notice here's the trick. If there's 2 digits on top, you want 2 zeros on bottom. It's kind of a trick if you really want to see it.
Well, where's the number? Oh.
Okay? Now, what simplifies these two numbers? 10 would do this one, but it wouldn't do that one. Does that make sense? 10 would go into 100, but 10 wouldn't go into 98. It's got to be even. That's going to be the biggest part. So, divided by 2. Uh-huh.
I was doing the wrong thing, so I did 10 for 100. Then at the top, I did another number.
Yes.
And I don't know. What
Yes. Listen. When simplifying, if you're doing this, woo, learn today, not when I grade your paper, look. If you are simplifying, that means you have to divide the top and the bottom by the same exact number. You can't do like the bottom by 10 and the top by 2. I think that something else that might have happened. Be very careful. If you do 2 on top, it has to be 2 on bottom. Now, go back and add in before you circle a final answer. My final answer should be 53 and 49 fiftieths. You got to make sure you add that 53 from the front back in. 8th period needs to sit up and get with me. I know. Listen, I'm worried about y'all's grades, and I don't know. Yes.
On number 3, it says 75. Wouldn't just 75 supposed to be like on
Number 3?
Because
1 second, let me look. Yeah, so 75 came from the front, and then 225 over 1,000, I simplified by 25s.
And also number 1, does 0 go in front too, or that's just...
No, drop the 0. Drop the 0, just like we did there. Okay. Now, let's do the bottom. Here we go. On the bottom, did we do 7 and 8?
No. Yes. We did
Yes?
7, 8, and 9.
And 9. Okay. Well, here we go. 9, some of you it sounds like zoned out on, but here we go. On 9, it was supposed to be 8 divided by 15. We add a decimal and a 0. I know what it is. Some of y'all left on first bell. So here we go. 15 into 80 would be 7?
Oh, it'd be 5.
5. I counted too much. Oh, 60 and then one more. Okay. 25. It'd be 75. Okay. This is what I was talking about with division. Some of y'all just stop. You can't just stop. I need you to add a 0 and keep going. 2 would be 30. 3 would be 45. And if I add another 0, I end up with, it is repeating. What repeats though? Just the 3s. So, my real answer, since there's not a whole number in front, that's the problem number, guys. It is 0.53 or 533 repeating. That's the answer. Yes?
I thought you skipped number 8 through 7.
Well, we did these in class. 7 and 8 we did in
I'm
class.
talking about number 9. Like
9?
8 minus 7.
Oh, no. I borrowed. I just didn't show you.
Oh.
Yeah, because 7 minus 7.
About 15. Like,
Okay, but if you borrow from the 8, make it a
8 minus
7. But you would have to, like, think about it. 80 minus 75. How far is it from 75 to 80?
a lot.
How far is it from 75 to 80?
Girl. 5.
Yes. All it is you had to borrow. You just brought down a 5, but you officially need to borrow from the 8, make it a 7, and make that a 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. 7 minus 7 is nothing. Okay. Here we go. Number 10. I got 2 divided by 9. I ended up doing 0.2. I got 18. I found 2 again. I got 18. I brought the whole number back over and I made 58.2 repeating. Or 58.22 repeating. Either way, all of that works. Okay, number 11. 3 divided by 4. If I add a 0.0, 4 times 7 is 28. Bring down a 0. 4 times 5 is 20. Now, look, 0.75 is the end of the decimal. I need to add back in the 9. That is equal to that. Yes. Now, listen, you can have 1 2 on this one. You can have 2 2s, 3 2s, 4 2s. Doesn't matter as long as you tell me it's repeating. No, because listen, well, what do you have? Just turn it off, please. 0.22. That's right, but listen, all it is you probably forgot to go back and add the whole number in. All it is you forgot to go back and add the whole number in. That's okay. Last one, number 12 here. 3 divided by 8. 3 divided by 8. If I add in the decimal and the 0, 8 times 3 is 24. If I add another 0, 8 times 7 is 56. If I add another 0, 8 times 5 is 40. And it ends. Some of you've got to work them till the end, and we're not doing that. So our final answer is 0.375 because there was not a whole number. That's the problem number. We good on that? We're going to continue to practice this like this week, but we are going to start add and subtract fractions. I need you, because I think this is going to be the cleanest way to do this, to get out a piece of paper. Basically, throughout the day, I have decided that the notes that we originally had were not so hot. So, if your child, meaning you're at home, if your child has come home with these problems for notes, and we wrote notes up here, that is fine. It is the same thing I'm getting ready to do on notebook paper. So your child should have it. It just might be on this. 7th and 8th, we're doing it on old-fashioned notebook paper because I think it's better, to be honest. Sometimes if lessons aren't working, I have no problem changing them, guys. Here we go. So, trying to get it down there. There we go. So we're going to do, it's just math problems, but it's notes, whatever you want to call it. And the topic is just add, subtract of fractions. Now, adding and subtracting of fractions should honestly be something we've done for a long time. Probably some of it since 2nd grade. Maybe, definitely past that. Some of them we need common denominators, some we don't. The weirdest part is this. Some of you have been taught to go up and down with them. I go up and down. Some of you have been taught to go sideways. I don't care as long as you are showing me the work and getting the right answer. Okay? So like this first one, I would stack it on top of each other. Let's say it says 3/8 minus 1/8. Okay. If you want to. This one's easy to go side to side. The next one when we do common denominators isn't. Like to me it's not, but that's okay. So 3/8 minus 1/8. The first thing I want you to look at is do they have the same denominator? Yes. That means we're good to go. In the world of pizzas, I'll be honest, that means it's cut the same. It's 8 slices. They're both 8 slices. It's easy to pull pieces out. So, if I have 3 and I take away 1, how many do I have? 2 out of 8. Now, simplify. What goes into the top and the bottom? 2. So I am dividing the top and the bottom by 2. This is simplifying, which equals 1/4. Okay? That is the simplest it'll go. That is the easiest it will be because that has a common denominator. It's short, it's sweet, it's kind of done. Okay. The next one is this one. Okay. We have 2/3 plus 2/9. And from previous years, you've probably noticed that you got to have a common denominator to do these things. Now, that means our bottom number has got to be the same. Okay, to find a common denominator, and I'm going to kind of shrink this down and have to kind of put it over here or something. The official way to find a common denominator, if you need to write this, write it. Like if you think later you might need it. Okay? A common denominator is created from something officially called the least common multiple, or the LCM. A lot of us have learned LCM and GCF. LCM is what we use to find a common denominator. Okay, all it is in my world is skip counting, to be honest. If I skip count by 3s and 9s, what is the least one they have in common? 9. That is my LCM. That one, that is my common denominator. You want to find the lowest one they have in common. Now, you want to put this, what I'm going to call up here, in the fractions. We're going to take a pizza or fraction, whatever you want to call it, that is cut in thirds, and we're going to make it cut in ninths. It's the same exact pizza, we're just slicing it a bunch more. Okay? This one's actually the same. That's going to be kind of easy. Okay? Here we go. To find the new numerator, because the numerator is going to change. Here we go. Kind of. The bottom one won't. But look at this. Go across. This is what my brain does. 9 times what equals 9? 1. 2 times 1 equals 2. That's how I get my numerator on the bottom. Hi, sorry.
That needs to be
Okay.
taken home and signed tonight.
That is fine. Ricky. There you are. And just get it signed. It's something from Miss Delta. Okay. Now, do you see where I got the 2 9s? Whatever I do on the bottom, listen, look at it again. Go across, like left to right, and say, okay, 9 times what is 9? Times 1. 2 times 1 is 2. Now that's easy. It's the same thing. The top one, though, changes. That's the weird part. So look, go across thinking the same thing. 3 times what is 9? 3. Change that, like bring it up top. What is 2 times 3? 6.
Oh, so whatever,
You do on the bottom, do on the top. Yep. So 6 plus 2 is 8, and we keep our bottom number of 9, and it doesn't simplify, so we're good to go. Okay? Yes?
okay, so, yeah, right.
Okay. Yes.
We have improper fraction.
We're getting there. Now, give me just a second. Let's look at number 3. Here we go. On number 3, listen, each one of these is different, so hang in there with me. On number 3, I got 2/3 plus 2/9. Oh, wrong one. I just copied that one. Man. Okay. This is what happens late in the day. Number 3 is 3/4 plus 5/6. That's funny because the next one has an improper, and I was thinking you knew it, so I forgot you didn't have the worksheet in front of you. Okay, so 3/4 plus 5/6. We gotta look. Does it have a common denominator?
No.
No. Skip count by 4s and 6s. What do we get to? 12. 12 is the smallest. You want to try to use the smallest. Okay, here we go. 4 times what is 12?
3.
3. 3 times 3 is 9. Okay. The bottom one. 6 times 2 is 12. 5 times 2 is 10. 9 plus 10 is 19/12. This will all be on video if it'll help you out later. I'm videoing. Just letting you know. I don't care. It's fine. We've all learned to work with it. So, if you are leaving or if the bell rings, listen, I'm going to video. I'm going to keep going. Don't pack up yet because y'all still got 5 minutes. I'm even going to probably video through the homework like through number 7. So just stick with me here, okay? On this, we've got, let me do one thing. We've got to change 19/12 to a mixed number. We've got to divide 19 divided by 12. Right there, 19 divided by 12. How many 12 go into 19? 1. How many's left over? 7 out of 12. And then it doesn't simplify. Okay, like that is that. Uh-huh.
So the numerator
Is bigger than the denominator. You're going to do division.
Oh. I'm not sure we didn't have to.
Okay? So look. If the top number, look at what I'm doing. I've lost a lot of you, but I know we only have 5 minutes left, but please look up here. If the top number is bigger than the bottom, you've got to divide 19 like divided by 12. Here is the mixed number. It's like a backwards check mark. A little check mark like that. It is 1 7/12. That is the new mixed number, 1 7/12. Okay, yes.
Last year we didn't divide, we just
Now, we're going to do, the next one has some subtraction in it, but not like that. Okay.
we didn't divide to get the mixed number. We subtracted.
Oh, 19 minus 12? And then get the 7? That is fine. That is totally fine. That is fine if it works for you. It's just a different way of teaching. It's fine. Yay, I'm glad you told me that. I get it now. Okay, the last one, and I wish you would listen and watch because this one has some weird stuff in it. Here we go. Number 4. Well, I'll be honest. This is my one class that, like, I haven't been able to get as much done in, guys. I don't know if it's having to stop and wake you up or what, but 8th period is a challenge right now. Here we go. First step, I need a common denominator.
And you don't have one.
And I don't have one. 5 and 3 is 15.
5.
Okay? I'm going to go across. 5 times 3 is 15. 1 times 3 is 3. Now I'm going to do the bottom. 3 times 5 is 15. 2 times 5 is 10. Here's the big, oh my gosh, this won't work. 3 minus 10. You can't do it. So, Joelle, what do you think we do?
You have to borrow from the whole number.
You got it. We're going to borrow from the 8,
Turn it into a
make it a 7, and the 1 we borrow is going to be added to the top as 15 15ths. That is 1. It is just cut up in 15 slices. Okay? My friends that are leaving right now, grab one of these on your way out. But listen, watch the video because I'm going to try to do like through 7 with it. Maybe 6, 7, somewhere in there. Ooh, sorry. Yes. I will. In just a minute. 1 second. Can I grab one?
You dropped your tray.
No. Listen, stop. It's okay. That's okay.
And I left our things again.
Okay. So, getting it back together. It's okay. Everybody help her out. Thank you, thank you. Okay. Yeah, grab one. It's okay. Take my post-it note. So listen, all it is, you guys who are still in here, stick with me. We're not done with this thing. Okay, we added a whole, but our whole is just cut up. It is one whole pizza, but it's 15 slices out of 15 slices. It's kind of weird. So instead of handing you what I would call, if we were to add a big yellow 1, I'm handing you a pizza that hadn't been cut up. But instead, I got to cut it up into 15s. It's got to match those common denominators. Now, if I go straight across, 3 plus 15 is 18. The bottom number is 15. If I bring this over and kind of finish the problem, I can finally do the math. 18 minus 10 is 8 15s. And going back to look at my whole number, 7 minus 5 is 2. I find it interesting that I've got about 15 of you in here and 5 of you aren't taking notes anymore. I realize that a few kids left, but if I was you, I would keep taking the notes. Okay, that doesn't simplify. Yes.
Last year we just made it so it would be a whole number. And then you subtracted it. Like, the top one would be 15 15s.
Uh-huh.
And then you would subtract it by 10 15s. And then get 5.
Oh, okay. Listen, as long as you're getting the right answers. They all teach it differently over there. So as long as you're getting the right answers, just show me your work so I can figure out what you're doing. Okay?
Like, I got a different answer, but I got something.
There can't be a different answer. That is the answer. Number 1. So 1 second. Y'all have to get back on track. Now, what I'm going to do for the rest of this video, and I wish you all would stick with me, you guys who are still in here. I'm going to work on this. Right now, you're going to get to continue watching this. At least you'll have half your homework done. Okay? Here we go. Now, I'm honestly kind of looking to see if there's any problems that are super hard. This is another reason I'm doing this. Okay? So, here we go. I'm going to just start working them out. You can tell it's been a busy day. Okay. So, here we go. This is actually, Tuesday night's homework? And today is the 18th. This is 8th period. And most of the kids, some of the classes I actually got done with, numbers 1 and 2 and 3. Some of the classes I didn't. So I've asked all the kids today to get back and look at this video at least at 1 through 6. I'm going to try to get done with 1 through 6. Here we go. So, 1/4 plus 2/3. Now, I'm just old school. I got to stack them up. That's just me. I can't help it. Okay. First step, find the common denominator. It's okay if you're done. I mean, if you're... This is, yep. It's only Tuesday, guys. We have plenty of time. We'll let them kind of sneak out. Make sure you got this. Okay, now, listen. I'm still going here. Here we go. So, 4 times 3 is 12. 1 times 3 is 3. 3 times 4 is 12. 2 times 4 is 8. So, if I add my numerators, I get 3 plus 8, which is 11. My bottom number is 12. Now, always stop right here. Can you simplify 11 12s? Nope. So I'm done right there. Bing, bam, boom. Circle that final answer. Listen, you can do this with me. I don't know why you wouldn't. If you're stuck listening to me do it, you might as well do it at the same time. Okay, number 2. 2/5 minus 2/10. Common denominator. If I skip count by 5s and 10s.
5. Well,
5, 10, 15, 20. Or 10, 20, 30, 40. 10. Here we go. Okay. So my brain is doing this. 10 times 1 is 10. 2 times 1 is 2.
I'm confused.
And then 5 times 2 is 10. 2 times 2 is 4. So I have a 4 and a 2. I go over here and I check my symbol, even though it's kind of flying in a weird spot over here. It is subtraction. So 4 minus 2 is 2 tenths. Does 2 tenths simplify?
Yes.
Yes. What goes into 2 and 10?
5.
Well, the bottom would be a 5. What would the top be? What'd you divide by? Ah, because you're dividing by what?
2.
2's. Okay. Interesting. Let's try number 3. It is 5/12 minus 1/4. Okay, skip count by 12s and 4s. What happens? Common denominator.
36.
You can use 36, it's just you're going to have to simplify a lot, because what is easier? 12. Yes, it's okay. 12 is just easier. The least common multiple just makes it easier. So 12 times 1 is 12. 5 times 1 is 5. 4 times 3 is 12. 1 times 3 is 3. Does that make sense? 5 minus 3 is 2 twelfths. What goes into 2 and 12?
6.
Kind of.
Wait,
What number though? What number do we want to use on top and bottom? 2, yes. You want to divide the top and the bottom by the same number. So 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 12 divided by 2 is 6. Yes, I think I knew what you meant. I just want to make sure you understood it. Simplifying, that's all. Okay. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to do 4, 5, and 6, hopefully. Plenty of time. But I will say this. Like, if you're at home and you are just copying my answers, it's not helping you. You need to probably hit pause, try number 4, and then hit play and check it. Like, that's how you do this. Yes.
That's why I'm not gonna write it down.
Oh, okay, that's fine. That's fine. I can see that. So, common denominator between a 5 and an 8. 5 and an 8.
None. Wait, 40.
You gotta skip count by 5 and 8.
Yeah,
40, yes.
I'm confused.
So, 5 times 8 is 40. 3 times 8 is 24. 8 times 5 is 40. 6 times 5 is 30. Woo, okay. Adding, thank goodness. 24 plus 30. 54 over 40.
Which is
Ah.
1 and 14, 40 gets.
You got it. We got to change that improper to a mixed. It would be 1 and 14 40ths. Ah, what goes into 14 and 40?
2.
2. So 2 goes into 14, 7. 2 goes into 40, 20. Listen, even if it takes you 5 steps, show me all the work. And then circle that final answer. But it shows me what your brain was doing. It's kind of goofy, but it works. Yes?
Would you still take the second one that we did? The 20?
No, there'd be points off. If you gave me this or that, I'd have to do like half credit or something.
Okay.
So, go to your simplest form. Okay? Let's try number 5. Here we go. 5 and 1/4 plus 4 and 3/8. I'm trying to make them fit. And you can always do this on line paper if you want. I do common denominator of 8. 8 times 1 is 8. 3 times 1 is 3. 4 times 2 is 8. 1 times 2 is 2. It's adding. So 2 plus 3 is 5 over 8. Look over here. There's some whole numbers. 5 plus 4 is 9.
Can you simplify that?
Ah, does anything go into 5 and 8?
Oh, no.
No.
Yes.
No.
Evenly? Okay, let's try 6. And I know we had 1 borrowing on our notes. I'm trying to see if any of these are borrowing. Okay.
It's not.
Common denominator is 15. I get a 6. I get a 5. Nope, this one's easy. 1/15. 11 minus 8. And I get 3 and 1/15. Honestly, it's just multiplication tables and fact fluency is the best way I can say it. 20 minus 12. Number 10. If I'm thinking about it right, let's talk about it. Because this is the one that must have borrowing. Yes. You need to, yes. Okay, let's look at 10. If my brain is looking at it right, it's got borrowing. So here we go. Okay, 4 and 1/8 minus 2 and 1/16. We'll see how many kids will watch my video to the end. Haha. Okay, common denominator. 16. Okay. So I got 16 times 1 is 16. 1 times 1 is 1. Okay, my other one is 8 times 2 is 16. 1 times 2 is 2. And I messed up. There's no borrowing, is there? I think my brain flipped them. Oh well. 2 minus 1 is 1. 16. And you just got an extra problem. So, I will just leave you with, if you watch this video, you have 5 problems left. And this one could be the borrowing. Try it. And then we will see tomorrow how we did on 7, 8, 9, 11, and 12. Okay? Please check them. Please, please, please. Sorry it took so long. That's just life today. It has been crazy. Thank you. Bye.